G'day guys, welcome to Walking Boxing. It is Wednesday, February the 19th, 2025, and there is actually a little bit going on in the boxing world at the moment. The last few days has sort of been sort of slim pickings, but apart from this weekend's big card in Riyadh, of course. Come here, McNeil. He's just spotted a dog there who wants to say g'day, as you can probably hear in the background there. I want to start off though today with the good old Australian media out in force again, just showing just how good our media is. And this is our old mates Peter Bedell and Brendan Bradford. Now, if you didn't see, Jeff Fenech is hooked up now with Tyson Pedro, the UFC star, fighter, whatever he might be. And the Herald Sun, I'm assuming, well, I read it in the Herald Sun, but it's obviously it's been syndicated or whatever it is from the Associated Press from old mates Bedell and Brendan Bradford. All right, so what was the Jeff? This is the headline here. Jeff Fenech's shock split with Brock Jarvis has taken an explosive twist, with a legendary figure spotted in scenes that will, wait for it, rock Australian boxing. Yes, the fact that Jeff Fenech is training with and tutoring Tyson Pedro is going to rock Australian boxing. Now, it gets better. It says here, this is the image that will rock Australian boxing. This is just simply a photo of Mike Tyson. I just was reading about him before this, sorry. A picture of Tyson Pedro doing some pad work with Jeff Fenech. All right, so what they've got is Jeff Fenech's shock split from Brock Jarvis has taken an explosive twist, with the legendary trainer joining forces with former UFC star turned boxer Tyson Pedro. This masthead can reveal, yes, this masthead can reveal, Fenech will be in Pedro's corner for his boxing debut on Wednesday week, just a fortnight after sensationally severing ties with Jarvis. And it just goes on about a few different things. He'll actually quote Jeff, well, there's a few comments about him, how it came about with him training Tyson Pedro. He just walked through the door and wanted Jeff to train him. That's probably about it. And Jeff, being the bloke he is, said, yep, I'll help you out. And then what else was it there? He says he spoke to Jarvis's team yesterday, and it kills me because I love him and I want to help him, he said, but I'm in a no-win situation because if he loses, people will blame me. This is Brock, of course. I love the kid to death, and it's killing me that I have to say no to him. It's truly killing me. It's a really bad situation, and Tyson's got nothing to do with it. This is Tyson Pedro. I've told Brock's team that Tyson wanted to work with me, and I'm going to get paid working with someone who wants to work with me. Now, that sort of tells me that obviously there's been some problems between Brock and Jeff. Maybe it's his team, maybe it's just the two themselves, whatever it is. But they've, by the looks of things, mutually decided to part ways. And the interesting thing, though, is that Jeff just said there, excuse me as I get through here, is that what did he say there? He had to say no to them. Now, that's interesting because as far as I could see, it was Brock who actually has severed ties with Jeff. But either way, you would think that they're both across what's going on and are both okay with it. Said there that Jeff kills him not to be able to work with Brock and all the rest of it. But he has been in contact with him. So I think all round. So I don't know about you, but I'm not necessarily rocked by the news. I just think it's one of those cases where Jeff has probably done the right thing and contacted them and said, hey, look, just a heads up, I'm going to be working with Tyson Pedro. If, in fact, he did say no to working with Brock. But as I said, by all accounts, it was Brock who was the main instigator who's saying he didn't want to work with Jeff. Either way, doesn't matter. Look, geez, just a cat just shot out of the bushes there. Scared the hell out of Neil there. And thank you again, everyone, for everyone's birthday wishes yesterday for little Neil here as well. He turned 8. So anyway, the plot thickens. But I don't know about you, but I'm certainly not rocked, and it's certainly not explosive in my book. But if you didn't know, there you go. Jeff Fenech, in the news of the year, has decided to train Tyson Pedro after splitting with Brock Jarvis. So there you go. And Peter Bedell and Brendan Bradford Come on, guys. There's some great things to write about this week. You've got Jason Maloney in a world title fight in Japan. I take that back. Not a world title fight, but a big fight in Japan. How about we write about that? A few better things to worry about, especially things that are going to rock Australian boxing. Anyway, we'll move on. All right. There's actually a few there's little bits and pieces that have sort of come up in the last sort of 24 hours. Well, the first thing that again, the media were all over because they love laying the boots in the boxing is that apparently on a podcast, Jake Paul sort of spilt that Mike Tyson had Parkinson's. And now it was proven to be false. They contacted Mike's team. They said, rest assured, everyone, he didn't go into the fight with Parkinson's. Just relax. Jake Paul then clarified that he didn't say that. What he was saying was that some sort of drug, whatever it is, whatever they smoke over there these days, something he was taking helped with things like Parkinson's. Somehow Tyson's name was sort of brought. Anyway, I don't know the whole transcript of exactly what was said. But either way, Jake Paul clarified that he didn't say that Mike Tyson had Parkinson's, but that doesn't stop the media, does it? Maybe Peter Bedell and Brendan Bradford could write about that. That sort of stuff that will rock world boxing, not just Australian boxing. But yeah, it was clarified. But again, that doesn't. When's the truth have to matter when it comes to writing a story? And the media were all over it yesterday. It was on multiple sites, including the Herald Sun in Melbourne, who probably didn't even bother to fact check. They just ran with the story. So, which is nothing new. But rest assured that Mike doesn't have Parkinson's, which is good. Apparently he's in good spirits, enjoying his life. He's turning 59 this year, and made, what did he make out last fight? 30, 40, 50 million. So I'm sure he'll be fine going forward. Kind of deal. He's going around the pole there. What else is going on? I saw there. Oh, come here, man. All right, a few other little bits and pieces. Geez, I tell you what, this dog's frustrating sometimes. What do we got there? Apparently, Turki El Sheikh is speaking with, I had to write this down, by the way, because there's so many little bits and pieces happening. Apparently, Turki El Sheikh is speaking with Al Heyman, which is very, very promising. Now, you would think that if he gets Al Heyman on the Turkey train and into the gang, that probably completes the whole setup as far as, well, is it taking over boxing? Because Al Heyman's, he has probably had that title before Turki El Sheikh came on the scene. Everyone sort of regarded Al Heyman as sort of the godfather of boxing, with all due respect to Bob Arum. Well, I'll take that back. Maybe not the godfather, but the kingpin of world boxing, the shot caller, if you will. But now that it looks like Top Rank is talking with Turkey, and now PBC is talking with Turkey, is that what we should call the talking Turkey with Turkey? We could see the final domino drop in the world domination of boxing, and that would be a clean sweep. And could we get that sort of boxing league or whatever else they're talking about, where come here, ma'am, where we have all the promoters operating under one shot caller in Turki El Sheikh. So you would have Eddie and Oscar and Frank and, come here, man, and Bob and Al, who doesn't usually answer to anybody, all operating under the umbrella of Riyadh season. Could it be the Trojan horse? Who knows? But yeah, it's fascinating stuff that we could, well, realistically, have that boxing league we're talking about, where the best fight the best, and Turki El Sheikh pays them all very, very handsomely. The only other thing to consider with that is apparently Al Heyman doesn't need the money. He's worth a lot of dough. So whether he is prepared to bend the knee for Turki El Sheikh is one thing or another thing, but geez, that would be massive news if they started working with Turki El Sheikh, because they've probably been the one holdout so far. So let's see what happens with that. Some other news. WBC and WBO have dismissed the idea of 15 rounders. So nothing from the IBF yet. The WBA president, Mendoza, was the one that actually sort of brought up they might revisit it. But the WBC and WBO have said absolutely not. We will not be revisiting 15 rounders. So I think that's good news. I've already sort of spoken about that. Mauricio Suleiman has said that, because I think they were the first ones to go back to 12 rounders back in the day with that Boom Boom Mancini tragedy in Las Vegas. So they certainly will not be going back. And but again, as I said, no word from the IBF. You'd think they would follow suit. Look, I've got a feeling with the WBA situation, it might have just been a question that was asked, and he's just answered honestly and said, yeah, well, you never know. And of course, again, with the media, they've run with it. I'm not sure whether they've seriously considered going back to 15 rounders. You would think that in this day and age with the medical associations and all those sorts of things, they would be maybe prohibited from doing it, or I'm not sure, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Some other news. Speaking of the WBC, they've just released the all-time WBC top 10 heavyweights. Now, where did I see that, by the way? I'm going to have to go back and find it, am I? All right, where is it there? Where did I see it? Oh, there it is. So they haven't done this for a while, apparently, but I'm just going to run through it. Now, this is not the greatest top 10 heavyweights of all time. This is the WBC's top 10 heavyweights of all time. So the fighters that have held their belt. All right, so they started it, and some of these are a little bit surprising. They started at number 10 with Ken Norton. Now, come here. Ken Norton was a great fighter. We all know that. Legendary heavyweight. You know, he locked horns with some of the best. Beat Ali, of course. You know, great heavyweight. But he didn't actually win the heavyweight belt. It was handed to him. So it's a little bit strange that he would make the top 10 of not actually winning the belt. Leon Spinks was actually stripped of the belt, and they handed it to Ken Norton, and he lost it in his first defence against Larry Holmes. So that's a bit of an odd one, but we'll keep going. Number 9 is Sonny Liston. Okay, I don't think there'll be many arguments on that one. Number 8, Vitaly Klitschko. Yeah, probably debatable. Number 7, Joe Fraser. Smoking Joe, probably a little bit low maybe, although some good fighters in front of him. Number 6, George Foreman. Number 5, Evander Holyfield. Number 4, Larry Holmes. Number 3, Lennox Lewis. Number 2, Iron Mike Tyson. And number 1, Muhammad Ali. Now, I know straight away people will say, well, what's Mike Tyson doing at number 2? Because he always cops it. He's just one of those fighters that I think I've discussed it the last few days. He's just got the derangement syndrome where people just won't give him his due because of what happened late in his career. So he's at number 2. Now, the only changes I would probably make to that, I would have Larry Holmes at number 2 behind Muhammad Ali. I think did he make 16 defences or something like that? Just a great champion. Maybe Lennox Lewis could probably even be probably stay at number 3. And Mike Tyson, I wouldn't maybe even have Holyfield above him, but either way. So it'll be Ali 1, Larry Holmes 2, Lennox Lewis 3. We'll put Mike Tyson at 4, Holyfield 5, and George Foreman 6, Joe Fraser 7. Now, I'd probably have Usyk in at number 8 above Klitschko. And, Sonny Liston, and yeah, we'll keep him in there for now, but probably Ken Norton, no. I wouldn't probably have Ken in there. As much as I admired him as a fighter, the fact that he was handed the belt and lost it in his first defence against Larry Holmes, by the way, but still lost it in his first defence. So anyway, what do you think about that? The top 10, again, it's not the top heavyweights of all time. It's the ones that have held the WBC belt. I don't know whether you could put in I was going to say a Tim Witherspoon. I think Tim Witherspoon could almost be in there, although he lost his belt, I think, in his first defence as well to Pinklon Thomas. So anyway, I'm just sort of thinking out loud, but there's been some great champions over the journey. What do you guys think? The other thing in the news, they're talking about Teofimo Lopez. We've talked about the Alcatraz fight in San Francisco. Now, the fight they were looking at was maybe Barboza, but now apparently they're targeting Richardson Hitchens in a unification fight. Now, the fight on paper looks great, although it does show throw the George Kambosos thing into question, doesn't it? Because that seems to be the fight what they look like they've been aiming for. But the problem is both of these guys are from the East Coast, so New York side. Why would they put this fight in San Francisco? It just doesn't make sense. If anything, you would think that they might put Teofimo Lopez in with Devin Haney in San Francisco, because Devin Haney is from San Francisco. So that would make sense, but this certainly doesn't. Two New York fighters based, well, they're based all over. Where are they based? Actually, I think Lopez might be in Vegas, I think. But either way, to have Teofimo Lopez and Richardson Hitchens fighting in San Francisco doesn't make much sense, although it does look like this Alcatraz thing is going to go ahead. And Hitchens actually had a really good point. He said, well, if they're going to do these types of events, why not have Teofimo Lopez and Hitchens like under the Brooklyn Bridge or in Times Square like they're doing the Garcia and Haney doubleheader? So that probably would make more sense, not the Alcatraz thing. But I'm really intrigued how this Alcatraz, I keep saying Alcatraz thing is going to work. It's going to be fascinating. And looking forward to it. We'll see. Tank Davis, come on, man. Let's get across the road here. Let's get going. We've got a car coming. Tank Davis has said he's in it for one more year. That's it. And he's out. He's had enough of boxing. He's had enough of being taken advantage of. This is for a guy that fights once every 12 to 18 months. So is he already semi-retired? I don't know. But apparently he's going to have one more fight after Lamont Roach. And that is it. Come here, man. And that is going to be it. So I think that's maybe Tyson Fury-esque. I think he'll hang around. It's too much money to be made. He probably loves the spotlight, but apparently he's, in his words, thinking of his kids, thinking of his family, and this will be the last year for Tank Davis. Let's see. Money talks, I suppose. So many good fights at lightweight, though. Keyshawn Davis. Come here, man. Oop, another car coming. Shakur Stevenson, some really good fight. William Zapata, some good fights to be made there. So it's a little bit odd that he'd get out now. And what was the last thing there? And speaking of Keyshawn Davis, apparently he's targeting Isaac Pitbull Cruz. And, geez, he's been difficult today. Hang on, we've got a dead rabbit on the road here. We might go this way. Or else Neil's going to have himself an early breakfast. Come on, man, let's go. This way, we'll get past the rabbit on the road. Everywhere at the moment. All right, so what were the fights there? He wants Tank Davis, and he also wants Pitbull Cruz, and he's going to move up to 140. So, again, some really good fights to be made at 140. So, and he looked big the other day, didn't he? He looked massive against Berenchuk. So, probably makes sense he'll go to 140, possibly even to 147 not long after that. Probably a little bit like Devin Haney has done. Weight bullies at 135, do the business, and then they move up. So, all right, guys, well, look, he's going to do it. So, try and get this guy on the straight and narrow. Hope you have a great Wednesday. We'll catch you tomorrow.